Alright guys, this is the ELA assignment for Wednesday, February the 10th. It's called Plant Adaptations. And just like always, I'm going to read this text aloud to you, as well as the questions and the answer choices, and talk about things along the way to hopefully clear up any confusion or misunderstandings that people might have. If you haven't already done so, make sure you have the slideshow up. And as the directions slide says, adjust the zoom to 100%. That just makes this text more readable. Otherwise, it's really, really small and you'll have to strain your eyes. Just as I've mentioned before in other videos, you can have this video up and use it as I'm reading aloud since you can clearly see the text here. But when you get to the questions part, make sure that you do have the slideshow up so you can refer back and forth between the text and the Google form that the questions are on. All right, so this is called plant adaptations. Plants have different adaptations that help them survive. These adaptations help plants survive in different conditions and environments. Some plants have adaptations that help them retain water. Plants have different sizes of leaves to help them absorb sunlight. Some plants have flowers to help them reproduce. These are just a few adaptations plants have to help them thrive. Cactus. There are about 1,750 species of cacti. Cacti is the plural of cactus. So in my yard, I have one cactus. In your yard, you have 3 cacti. They are a wide variety of shapes and sizes. Most cacti live in dry environments such as deserts. Cacti have many adaptations to help them survive in dry environments. All plants need water, so cacti have adaptations to help them conserve water. Most cacti are succulents, which means that they have thick flesh to store water. Unlike other plants, most cacti do not have true leaves. They have spines, which perform a similar function as leaves. Spines defend cacti against animals. Spines also provide some shade for cacti, which prevents some water loss. Since cacti do not have true leaves, their enlarged stems complete the photosynthesis process. Many cacti have short growing seasons. They are dormant or inactive and not growing for long periods of time. Cacti react quickly to any rain. They have short roots that quickly absorb any water on the ground. Next page. Next and final page. Right, the pitcher plant. The pitcher plant is a carnivorous plant that consumes insects for energy. There are about 100 species of pitcher plants. Pitcher plants have pitfall traps, which are leaves shaped like pitchers that have deep cups filled with fluid. The fluid is a digestive liquid that breaks down insects that fall into it. The pitchers have a waxy coating, making the surface slippery. When an insect lands on this waxy surface, it falls into the pitcher and is unable to escape. The liquid inside the pitcher drowns the insect and slowly dissolves it. The prey is changed into a solution that the plant gets nutrition from. Pitcher plants grow in areas that have soil that is acidic and low in minerals. They rely on prey rather than soil and photosynthesis to obtain nutrients. It's an interesting plant. You can see a picture of it here, and it is shaped like a pitcher, meaning like a pitcher that contains liquid that you could use to pour into your glass. All right, sunflowers. Sunflowers are tall, colorful flowers that grow on long stems. A sunflower's roots and flowers help it adapt to different climates. They can grow in temperatures from 61 to 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunflower seeds have a high tolerance for cold temperatures during germination. This helps them survive varied temperatures and seasonal changes. Sunflowers require full sun. The flower rotates with the rising and setting sun. The head of the sunflower is composed of a cluster of thousands of tiny flowers called inflorescences. Each inflorescence can produce a seed. A sunflower's large flower head attracts bees. Bees carry pollen to other sunflowers and fertilizes them. Sunflowers have leaves that grow along the stems to absorb sunlight for photosynthesis. Different plants have different adaptations that help them survive in their habitats. Plants have evolved over many years to develop these adaptations. All right, so we're going to move to the question. All right, so here are the questions for plant adaptations. There's only 5 of them today. Again, the directions say before completing this assignment, you must read the passage first, which if you're watching this video, you've already read along and followed along. And of course, watching this video will help you if you are struggling with any of these questions. Number 1, in paragraph 2, the text states, they have short roots that quickly absorb water on the ground. Why do cacti need this adaptation? Why do they need to have short roots that quickly absorb water on the ground? Is it because spines also provide some shade for cacti, which prevents some water loss? Is that why cacti have short roots that quickly absorb water on the ground? Is it most cacti live in dry environments such as deserts? Is that explaining why cacti have short roots that quickly absorb water on the ground? Unlike most other plants, cacti do not have true leaves. Does that explain why they have short roots so they can quickly absorb water on the ground? Or many cacti have short growing seasons. Does that explain why they have short roots and so that they can quickly absorb water on the ground? Number 2, which sentence best explains why pitcher plants are carnivorous? Now, to be carnivorous means that you're a carnivore, and we're going to be talking about carnivores and herbivores and omnivores as we move into this ecosystems unit, but you should remember from prior grades that a carnivore is a species that eats only meat. They don't consume plants. They eat only meat. So we're looking for the sentence that explains why pitcher plants are carnivorous. Why do they have to eat or get their energy in this way? They don't really eat because they're a plant, but why are they carnivorous? Is it because the liquid inside the pitcher drowns the insect and slowly dissolves it? Does that explain why they're carnivorous? Pitcher plants consume insects for energy. Does that explain why we call them carnivorous? When an insect lands on this waxy surface, it falls into the pitcher and is unable to escape. Does that explain why they're carnivorous? Pitcher plants have pitfall traps. Does that explain why they are carnivorous? Okay, number 3. Which of the following sentences provides context when determining the meaning of dissolves? So we have to pretend here for a minute that we don't know what dissolves means. So which of these 4 would do the best job of adding some context so that we could figure out what dissolves means? The fluid is a digestive liquid that breaks down insects that fall into it. When an insect lands on this waxy surface, it falls into the pitcher and is unable to escape. The pitchers have a waxy coating, making the surface slippery. They rely on prey rather than soil and photosynthesis to obtain nutrients. I need to fix that from the to they. So which of these 4 would provide the best context for figuring out what dissolves means? Number 4, which of the following would be best in replacing the phrase tolerance for in this sentence? So we're looking for an answer choice to replace tolerance for. Sunflower seeds have a high tolerance for cold temperatures during germination. Could we say sunflower seeds have a high acceptance of cold temperatures during germination? Sunflower seeds have a high resistance of cold temperatures during germination. Sunflower seeds have a high adoration of cold temperatures during germination. Sunflower seeds have a high devotion to cold temperatures during germination. Number 5, Why is this passage divided into different sections? Now, I use this question because when we took the RI 5-3 Common Assessment just prior to going virtual, this was the passage about the whales. And I asked you guys to bring home that passage with you because it's been graded. And the last question, no, I'm sorry, second to last question, number 20, is asking, why is this passage divided into different sections? And so whether I'm asking it about the whales passage or whether I'm asking it about the plant adaptations passage, the reason is the same. We divide a text into sections for the same reason, no matter what the text is. So I'm going to give you another shot to think about this because I had quite a few people miss this. So why would an author divide his passage or her passage into different sections? And to think about this, you have to think about, well, let's see what the sections are. Okay, well, this section is called pitcher plant here. And then we have a section called sunflowers. And we have a section called cactus. And these are called subheadings. And subheadings show us what the section that follows is all about. They're going to give us a clue to the main idea of that section, and a good subheading should really clue us into what that section is going to be about. Why do texts have sections? And that answer is true for every text, no matter what it's about. So when we have sections because we want to organize a large amount of information, to demonstrate how much there is to know about plant adaptations, to make the passage less difficult to remember, or to give the passage the appearance of importance. So think about that again. Let's get this another shot. Let's see if we can have some improvement on this type of question. If you are comfortable, confident, content with your answers, then click Submit. If you are not and need extra insight or need to reach out to me to get some clarification, then email me and message me, because if you hit this submit button and then you decide that you wish you hadn't, there's not going to be another chance at doing this. So we're not going to have redos for these assignments. So only if you're ready to submit, click submit. Make sure you mark done in Google Classroom. And again, if you need help with any of it, make sure you email me or message me and I'll be glad to help. This is due by 11:59 tonight.